Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's Jacoby. Hi, if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment. Today we're gonna be talking about things you should never do in volleyball, or like really bad volleyball habits that you should stop doing. A lot of bad habits are just like ingrained in their training because they have been practicing bad habits for so long, and sometimes the more further along you get, it's harder to reverse that bad habit. So I'm gonna tell you things that you should probably stop doing, or if you're not doing it, just don't do it. And this will save you a lot of time, headache, and suffering. I'm just kidding, it's not suffering, but it's really hard to reverse the way you pass or the way you hit. And it's really hard to kind of like rewire your brain to think, okay, I need to do this instead of what I've been doing for like the past 10 years of my life. So, but before we get into the video, make sure to follow me on Instagram. It's at jacoby.sims. I'm subscribed to this channel. Subscribe to my second channel. It's a vlog lifestyle channel called Jacoby. Also, you can listen to my podcast. It's also a lifestyle podcast about college and volleyball and all that stuff. It's called Secondhand Embarrassment. You can literally just Google my name, Jacoby Sims, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can Google my name and it'll pop up, Secondhand Embarrassment. Give that a listen, follow, subscribe, leave a review. And I also have merch if you want to check it out. It's on Teespring. I'm also doing a little reveal thing on my second channel, so make sure to go check that out. Okay, so first thing I would say you should stop doing right now is going at the ball or trying to pass the ball with one hand. Some people are gonna be like, okay, well, sometimes you just have to pass with one hand, which is true. I'm not saying that you shouldn't practice with it, but I'm saying when it's an easy ball and you're there, don't just be like, that's so lazy. Don't do that, because sometimes like if I see a ball and I'm like, meh, like I'll just stick my arm out at it. That's not a good way to go about it. And then once you get older and older, you'll have to unlearn that, because that's not gonna fly, especially if, say you're doing that in serve receive, the ball that's being served at you is gonna get faster and harder to pass as you progress in age. So if you stick your arm out, you're not gonna get a good pass 9 times out of 10. Like one time you might stick it out and it'll be a good pass. That's fine, great, awesome, we love those. But usually the other time it's just gonna shank, because you don't have that much control compared to 2 arms. If you're just dropping off one, that gives the ball less of a target and it gives you more chance to shank the ball. So just don't stretch out for one hand. Also, even when you're diving or you're going for a short ball, try to always get 2 hands on the ball. Now, sometimes you just can't get there with 2 hands, but what my coaches used to always say, because they hated when we win with one arm, because I mean, in our heads, we were like running after the ball, we were diving, so we had to stretch out with one arm. But my coach would always say, if you can get there with one arm, you can get there with 2, which makes sense, because if you're here, what is your other arm doing? Just chilling? So I mean, you could really just reach out and go like that and then dive. That's what you really want to do, is get your platform under the ball and be like, boop, okay, and then do your dive. Don't hit the ground and then try to get the ball up with one arm or whatever you're doing. So just go with 2 hands, please. It'll save you so much headache, I promise. Whoa, I should like be on a dance competition. Okay, my voice is like so raspy. Okay, so next, you should always land on 2 feet. Now, this is more pertaining to hitting, blocking, and serving, but that's still obviously a huge component of the game. So what I mean by this is, if you're coming down from a jump, you don't want to land on one leg or the other, mainly because injuries, that's really actually not good for your knees or your ankles, because then it'll kind of form a dependency, or you'll like one leg will be stronger than the other, and then it'll just be, your legs will be all wonky and your strength will just be like weird. So really, you need to land on 2 feet, especially because you're more balanced that way. You'll come down more, I think, honestly, like in my experience, you'll come down lighter, instead of like if you're coming down on 1 foot, you'll kind of be off balance and you might fall out of bounds, or you might fall into the net, or you might fall into your teammate, which can obviously cause injury because you're literally colliding with another person and y'all are both coming down from a block, and then you just run into each other. That's a recipe for disaster. So I would say land on 2 feet if you can, and that applies to serving as well, because I know if you jump serve, which I will be doing a video on that. I got a request to do like a jump serve tutorial, which I will. I hate when people walk outside my window because I can see them and I feel like they can definitely see me. All right, anyways, but I will be doing like a jump serve tutorial because I haven't done that yet. I don't know why, but I got requested to do that, so I will do that in the future. But if you're jump serving, you can't really land on one leg because honestly, well, first of all, that hurts. That really hurts, and you want to land balanced because you have to run to your spot to where you're playing defense. So if you just land on one leg and you're like, whoa, for like 5 minutes, like you're not doing your job. So you need to land balanced and run to your spot. So land, please land on 2 feet. It'll save you so much pain, trust me, because I used to do that all the time. Like I would land on my right leg every single time after I came down from blocking because I was like, oh yeah, I'm opening up to the ball, so I'm just gonna land on 1 foot to make it faster. But in reality, I was just really hurting my knee. When you're passing, keep your feet on the ground, and that means no jumping when you're passing. So meaning you see the ball coming and like you're like, oh shoot, the ball's about to beat me, I need to jump into the ball to make it go up. I'm here to tell you that you should not do that, and that's a pretty bad habit just because it will teach you like, okay, like if I'm in a pickle, I can just jump at the ball and it'll go straight up. That's not exactly what you want, especially because you lose your control if you kind of jump with the ball, and 8 times out of 10, that ball's gonna, if you're jumping with it, that ball's gonna hit you so high and it's gonna go behind you and be an ace usually. So I would refrain from doing that. Also, the way you can avoid jumping when you're passing is just to move your feet before the ball even gets there. So that means like beat the ball to the spot. So if the ball's beating you, that's when you have to jump and like do all these crazy things just to try to get the ball to the target. But if you're kind of ahead of the ball and you're like, okay, the ball's probably gonna go here, so once I see the ball cross the net, I'm gonna make my move and be there waiting on the ball rather than making a reaction to it, which could include jumping or like sticking your arm out, like some kind of twitch reaction like that. So just go ahead and beat the ball there instead, so you don't have to jump and then shank, and it's also just not good. But now, is jumping the end of the world? No, it's just better to beat the ball. But sometimes the ball will beat you and that's okay, but you want to jump in the correct way. Like you don't want to jump like this, like up and out, because first of all, that ball is going to go behind you. So really, if you absolutely can, you want to create an angle and then jump, or jump and then create your angle so the ball will go more out instead of up or behind you. Instead of this and jumping, will go straight up. You want to be like this and jump if you absolutely have to. I don't really suggest that, but if you have to, like sometimes you do, that's what you should do. Okay, this one has to do with blocking. So you don't want to go up there blocking like this or like this or something crazy like that. You will get your fingers broken, okay? They will be nice and bruised and swollen and jammed all the time if you're going up to block like this with really hard fingers like that, or like this. I'm telling you, it's gonna be painful. You want to make sure you're blocking like this and your hands are not flat like this, but they're more curved into the ball, so when the ball does hit you, you don't want it to break your fingers, because that's happened. I've seen that happen to so many girls. It is nasty, and you can hear it and you're like, ooh, are you okay? And they're like, I'm fine, and then like their fingers like broken. So just be safe, you know? Don't have monster fingers up there blocking, because you will get hurt. Next I would say a really bad habit is not calling the ball. This is true on all levels. Like you know those balls where like it's such an easy ball and then the two passers are like and the ball just hits the ground. Oh, those are the worst. It's such a momentum killer. Everyone gets angry. They're like, what are you doing? Like, come on. So the way you can avoid that is just being like, mine, or calling the ball. So I know, like, and plus that can get people's blood boiling. Like if you don't call the ball, you might get subbed out. So you might want to, you know, call the ball, because first of all, that makes people really angry when you don't, and 2, it clears up confusion, and 3, it also prevents injury, because volleyball, you can collide with someone and get like a concussion or get concussed. Knock on wood, I don't want to get a concussion. But for real, like calling the ball clears up all that confusion, and if you're like mine, that person who's around you, to your right or your left or in front of you, whatever it is, or behind you, they're gonna back off because they're like, okay, this girl has the ball. Perfect. Like it just makes everyone's life easier. So just talk, please. I like literally make my team run when they don't talk. I'm like, all right, so y'all don't want to talk, so we can just run the entire time. How about that? And then what do you know? Next time they're like, mine. And that's what I thought. See, just don't make coaches resort to having to punish you to do something so simple like that. So, that's all I gotta say. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I really hope you liked it. If you have any video requests or comments, questions, concerns, whatever, you can leave it down in the comments. I read every single one and respond to every single one usually. So yes. Alright guys, peace out. See you next time. Bye.